everyone, so in today's video I'm going to be unboxing the Belle and Beast film collection dolls. I like to take all my film collection dolls out of boxes just because, I don't know, they're not limited edition and I just like having them in my hands, so I'm taking them out. I know the Belle doll has received a lot of criticisms because of that photo that was really popular online that showed the dolls, and everyone was saying she was really ugly and manly and that she looked like Justin Bieber. And I understand the concerns because when I first saw those photos, I was like, whoa, that is not a nice doll. But this is actually not the same doll. A lot of people think it's the same one, but if you actually look closely at those pictures, it's a different box and the dress design is different. The only way it could be the same doll is if it was an earlier prototype, but it wasn't like a film collection doll type of box. So it might be a cheaper version that is going in other stores like Toys R Us or Target or something like that. I don't know, but if you look at the packaging and the doll itself, it's not the same doll. However, this one is still somewhat similar in its features, but when I saw it in real life, I was like, you know what, that's not that bad. I'm gonna get the doll. So if you're one of those people who think you're so original by saying the doll looks like Justin Bieber, don't even, okay? Just don't watch the video. If you just wanna hate on these dolls, don't watch. Anyway, enough blabbing, let's look at these suckers. So the box is very, very clear, which I like, even all down the sides, so you can get a good look at her if you're leaving her in the box, which I am not. They always do a good job with the backgrounds too in these film collection boxes, and you can actually see it's a bit 3D back there. Very cool. And then on the back, they always have a picture from the film, which is the main thing that makes me not want to unbox them because I feel like that looks so good. And then I'm like, well, if you're displaying it, you don't even see that anyway. Like, no, why would that affect my decision? I don't know. I just think it's very pretty, but she's coming out. And then we have Beast. Same box design, even in the back. And then, oh yeah, even back here. When I said even in the back, I meant background, but the back of the box is actually the same too. So we're gonna put Belle aside and start with Beast. Oh, his coat, I'm already loving it. I'm already loving it. There's a lot of these circular plastic tabs that have to come off. Cut, cut, cut. Okay, so here is Beast. I think he looks amazing. Ugh. And I really don't mind the hard sculpt. I feel like that was the right choice just because his hair falls such a specific way, and if he had rooted hair, it might look a little too crazy or would take a ridiculous amount of styling and therefore up the price of the doll. Yeah, I think it actually looks pretty good. Although, I'll see if I can get a little bit closer here. On this side is quite seamless where his beard meets his hair, but on this side there aren't as many big chunks, and so you can see this crack easier. But it's still not bad. I just wanted to point that out because it does look so great on this side, but this side's like, yeah, I can see the crack. Just gonna quickly give you the full body shot because I can barely reach this far. Yeah, here's what he looks like, full body. We'll do a little turnaround. And fun fact about his tail, it's not actually attached to him, it's just sitting in his pants, but it's not attached to his base. But I think that's interesting because then it can move freely. Woohoo! Whoa. Come closer, Beast. I love how his eyes just pop. I guess because they're blue and then just a little highlight in them. They just really pop, especially on camera with the light shining on him. It's really reflecting that light. And then he's got his little lips. There's a bit of glaze or glossiness on the tip of his nose to make it pop out. You can see that in a lot of places actually because it's got a matte finish in some areas, and then they add that little glossy bit to the highlights to make it shine and shimmer. That's what his eyes have. That's probably why they're reflecting the light so much. But I think that looks really good. Here's a nice close-up look at the horns. And these horns are growing on me. When I first saw the design, I was like, why are his horns so big and why are they going backwards? But I actually quite like that now. I think it looks good. It does make him look less evil though, which is the downfall, I guess, because I feel like little horns pointing forward seem like little devil horns, and so it looks more evil to me. Then here's his little lacy cravat neck thing. It's got a few different layers here. It's very pretty actually, the way it's embroidered all along the edge and everything like that. Let's tuck that in though. I don't like how that piece is sticking out, but it's tucked in on the other side. There's of course all the gold detailing and buttons on his coat and vest. And what's interesting is this is all stuffed. You can especially feel it on the shoulders and on his back because they have to make him bulky. So this is all kind of plushy here. And then there's a bit of it in the arms as well. I can feel it, but not as much. And then it kind of goes away as you get to his forearms. There's what his hands look like. You can actually rotate his arms. It's not rotating at the wrist, it's rotating at the elbow because the elbow can bend up and then it can also just swivel like this. The shoulders don't have a ton of movement because he is so padded and he's not really meant to be played with anyway, so that's totally fine with me. Back to his head real quick. It does turn side to side, even though it's all bulky. It does have some movement. His pants are pretty basic, but I like the fabric that they use. It's nice and soft, and there's actually Velcro on the sides. They probably needed that so they could get his pants over his big feet. And yeah, a tail I already showed you. Let me see if I can give you a close-up here. There's like a little squarish plastic bit at the end. You can see it through the pants a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. But it's just like a little extra bit on the end of his tail so that when it comes through the hole, it doesn't come out the hole, but he can still move his tail around. Then here's the back of his jacket. Oh, I just love the blue and gold. It looks so good. Navy and gold are going to be my wedding colors. Hype. Here are his beastie feet. It's kind of cute seeing the little paws at the bottom. Little paw pads. His knees bend. They have like a full joint, and then his hip joint also moves, like the upper leg. So he is pretty posable, but not when you factor in all the fluff. But I don't really care. He's just going to be standing quite straight, maybe like one leg forward, and he's looking over at Belle, maybe one hand out reaching towards her, something like that. Okay, now moving on to Belle. Don't worry, Belle, I will free you from this castle. I think Belle has a wedgie. She's free. Oh my god, that looks so much better. Oh my god. Okay, here she is. She's already starting to look a lot better out of the box when her dress is free to poof and her hair is free to go behind her because it was pinned awkwardly to the side in the box. So now it can hang nicely. Yay. And then there's some stuff that's pinned. I left some of it pinned because I don't know how much I want to take this apart. Like all these little loose bits in the back that are hanging are pinned down, and I think I'll just leave those pinned down so they don't go too crazy. But a lot of her dress layers were also pinned, and I unpinned them so they can floof and be free to flop around. So let's get some close-up looks. Woo, woo, woo. So starting with her face, I don't think it's actually all that bad, except that the forehead is big, obviously, and I wish she had maybe more eyelashes or something just to make her look a little more feminine. But it's a thing with the live action dolls is they do try to make it more realistic, so they're not just going to throw like really cartoony features on them, I guess, because there's always a bit of that uncanny valley with these dolls, which is like the more realistic something gets, the more weird it is. Like it starts to give you this uneasy feeling, like it starts to look wrong. I actually have one of my film collection Alice dolls here, and you can kind of see the same. They went very minimal with her makeup, but her makeup is just minimal in the film, so they're trying to keep that. And Emma Watson isn't wearing a ton of heavy makeup in the movie, so that's why they're kind of sticking with that, I guess, a more natural look. I know one of the criticisms was that her arms are so skinny and her head so big, but like these are dolls. They're not figures that are proportionate to the actual humans, I guess. That's what's weird about it, is it's like a human head on a doll body. Because this one's the same. It's just got like the little stick Barbie arms and the Barbie waistline with the head on it. Like that's just how these types of dolls are. And so that's part of the reason why live action dolls aren't always as well received as the ones that are based off the animated films. I think her head looks best when you're not seeing it straight on. If you're seeing it from maybe a 3/4 angle or something, I think it looks a lot more feminine and delicate, and from the side as well. I think it's much better because straight on it just feels a little blocky. I think it's just, again, the big forehead because it's also wide. It's not just tall, it's wide, and so I think that kind of messes with it. But I still think she's beautiful, and just look at her hair. It just feels so Belle when you see her from the side. Oh my goodness. It's got the little, I don't know what you would call this thing. It's just like a little, it's almost like a headband, but it's a mini headband. It goes around her bun, which is all woven. Look at that. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love the hair. It's a little messy in the back because it was split to the side in the box. So I'm kind of trying to get it to sit more centered. But again, I'm not going to be looking at it from the back all the time, so I guess it doesn't matter. And then for the dress, this is kind of a mess back here. I don't even really know what's going on with that, but I'm just gonna leave it pinned. I mean, it might actually sit nicer if I unpin it, although this piece right here is really sewn in, I think. Like a good chunk of it is sewn in, but in terms of the little, these guys I could take off because they just have those little plastic pins in there holding it on. I don't know. I'm not gonna see her from the back, so I might as well just leave it. But look at the glitter in this. Ho 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 ho. Glitzy glitzy. That is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Now let's get a close-up look at the bodice and necklace. I don't know what the necklace is supposed to be. Is it just like a bunch of thorny branches or something? I don't know. Just looks like a bunch of branches. There might be an answer in the movie. Maybe the necklace gets created in the movie. I don't know. The movie's not out yet at the time I'm filming this, so who knows? But yeah, when they translated her from the animated version to the live action, the thing that I like the least about the new dress design is the bodice. They messed with the iconic off-the-shoulder look. Like, why would you mess with that? I can't even pull this off. It's stuck in the back. The off-the-shoulder look was so beautiful and iconic. Like, there's something so elegant about it. And this new bodice design just looks like a t-shirt or something. I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like how it looks like a t-shirt with the cap sleeves. But they do have some nice ribbon on here. They got a scalloped edge up in there and nice gold bits throughout. So it is pretty, but like the shape isn't pretty, if you get what I'm saying. I wish it had the off the shoulder. Okay, that's like Belle's iconic look, and they didn't even do that. Disappoint. Then for mobility, she's like a typical Barbie doll. She can turn her head, move her arms, her elbows, her wrists. Well, I guess not. It's not typical Barbie doll, but a lot of dolls these days can do that. Oh, hello. She also has posable knees. Her feet are just doing their own thing, but yeah, her ankles also move. Let's get a nice close-up at her shoes because these are really pretty. They're a bronzy color with some gold detailing on them. I like that. Just like a small heel, nothing too crazy. I like how even with all that paper out of here, her dress is still floofy enough that it sits nicely. Like it really poofs out. Okay, you know what? I gotta take these pins off the back. This is really bugging me now. Okay, there we go. Now these pieces are free to dangle as they please. They're still a bit creased from being all squished in the box, but it's not too bad. Floofity floof, floofity floof. All right, they're barely standing because I don't have proper doll stands, but there they are. Oh, I think it looks pretty good overall when you see them out like this, out of the box. I think it's not too bad. Some final close-ups. Look at that glitzy glitter. If you had the right lights on them, oh, her dress would sparkle mighty fine. I think that's what they had in the Disney store. They had these little lights surrounding her, and it just really brought out the sparkle of the dress and looked so beautiful. Anyway, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.
No, your Surface is just upstairs playing.
It's on?
Yeah, and it's just been playing a YouTube video since I got here.
That's creepy because I've been upstairs several times and the screen's been off, and I was just up there like 15 minutes ago to grab my rings. I took it off to do dishes and forgot it up there, and it was off.
Well, it's on.
And I didn't touch it.